It's 6 o'clock. Let's call the June 9th meeting together. Everybody please stand for the pledge. Sorry, Ernie, hold on a minute. I'm so sorry. All right, no problem. Can't get it.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I apologize. I have a new phone and I hate it.
Oh.
Can't do anything with it. Mark, he'll probably call you.
Yeah.
First thing, let's have a moment of silence for all the people that's getting flooded. Okay, are you there? Yes. All right, we're very sorry for the people that have lost their homes tonight, flooded in Lanesville and Corden. And the first responders, they remain in our prayers. So what do we have on the first thing to do?
Greg Jones with Uplands Regional Bank.
You're up, Greg.
People present out of here, I assume. So you want to pass it around. Here's a couple of the brochures on it. You guys can take a look. So, I've come to make you aware of a little bit about what the Indianapolis Regional Land Bank's been doing for Crawford County and for the region that it's been working in. Some of the statistics that we've kind of done is most land banks take about 3 years before they own their first property. We are 2.5 years in on the land bank, and we have been able to acquire 20 different properties in the process. We've got 14 of those properties that are currently owned right now. 3 of them we're planning on doing rehabilitation on. 4 of them are currently doing demolition on, and then we're still figuring out what to do with some of those. 3 of them have already been got under contract for a developer that is renovating the different homes that we've taken ownership of, and then 3 will get in the tax sale process in 2027. I mentioned the renovation contract because that's really something that helps stand out for the land bank. What you have with a lot of instances when you sell a piece of property on a commissioner sale or tax sale or foreclosure or something like that, you don't know what's going to be done with that property. Whenever a property is acquired by the land bank, you have an idea that the best use of that property is going to happen, because what we're trying to do is really take a piece of property that's vacant and dilapidated, and then get that back on the tax rolls to be renovated or torn down so a new home can be constructed, something for the public benefit. So we're not just looking at who can pay us the most for the piece of property, we're looking at who's going to have the best end use for that piece of property. We're utilizing a lot of local contractors as part of the land bank. So we've got yard maintenance, cleanup, inspection, title work, survey work, demolition, tree removal, builders, rat removal, pest spray, scurry the cats out, just anything that we require, and a lot of like just taking out of like, we've had some hoarding homes and things like that, just removing things out of that way. But we've paid a lot of local contractors that way. We paid a lot for demolition and just kind of raising different sites and cleaning up those different sites. As well as we've been able to, we've had to pay taxes on certain properties, because you acquire a piece of property and you don't get an exemption in the time that you need to in order, to not have to pay taxes on it. So we've ended up paying taxes on all the different properties that we've had. And so we spent about $35,000 on property taxes and paid another $20,000 in this upcoming year. of all the properties that we've acquired, we kind of we looked at the assessed value on that, basically looked up the tax rolls. And they all valued out to about 564,000 all combined. And then when the properties go through the renovation and everything that's done with those properties, we believe that it will create $3,675,000 in assessed value on those properties. So that's 6.5 times on that of investment that's on those properties. And then also one of the pretty cool things that we think is that we've started building a home in a partnership with Martin County Redevelopment Commission. So they came to us and said, hey, we like what you're doing. You cleaned up a piece of property in Shoals. It's a really tough piece of property to rebuild on. What if we brought half the money, you brought half the money, we build a home there, and then we sell it together. And then we've got a new workforce development housing, essentially. We're trying to find homes built in that 180 to 220 kind of range there that someone in the workforce median income could be able to purchase and live in. Over this 2.5 years of being a fledgling land bank, we've learned a lot of lessons. Takes 9 to 18 months to acquire a piece of property. It's a really long process in Indiana getting to be able to acquire a piece of property. Even donations can take you 9 months. And the thing that really sets it apart is we're trying to do everything, every I dotted T crossed, so that we're drawing a line in the sand for that property. So all the liens are removed off those properties, all the legal documents are filed, and everything is set so that property is going to have a new life moving forward in our counties. But doing those type of things means it's a little bit more of an expensive process. There's no quick claim deed kind of transactions that are happening. We're doing the research on the environmental on the sites. We're doing inspections on the sites. We're really doing our due diligence on each of the different properties that we're acquiring, and then trying to rehabilitate or turn back into viable housing. Code enforcement is critical for a land bank. You've got to have that kind of pipeline of people looking out for the different problem properties that are dragging down the property values of the neighbors. And then we didn't realize this going into it. The largest competitions we're having in like commissioner sales, tax sales, those type of venues is from venture capitalists and LLC groups. What they're trying to do is they're trying to acquire they'll bid on the property, they'll bid up the cost of it in order to, have their name on it. You'll go through the redemption period for it takes a year for a lot of those properties. And they don't really care if they redeem it or not. They just they're actually hopeful that the property owner or some heir or something like that will come and redeem the property. When they do that, they get an interest, so a guaranteed interest off of doing that redemption. And so it's, they're just throwing money at these things because they're going to make a 5% return, 10% return, depending on how long that redemption period takes. So it's an investment strategy. It's a loophole in our system, but that's who we're up against. And if they don't redeem the properties, then maybe they'll let it fall back onto the tax sale. That starts the process all over again. Now you've got another couple of years where that property is just going to sit, deteriorate, and become a bigger blight for 2-3 years down the line. It's one of those things that we're working on. We're trying to work with legislation to see if we can't close the loophole on that, but it's a problem throughout Indiana. These land banks typically take 3 years to own a piece of property. We're 2.5 years in. We felt like we've been very valuable for the counties that we've been working in. We're hitting that time frame where the ready funding that we've been utilizing in order to do the work is running out. It'll run out in September. And so we are making that ask of each of the counties that are part of the land bank to help sustain the land bank. This is a service. It's one of those things where, believe it or not, we're doing something innovative for even the nation. There isn't many land banks in Indiana. And there's certainly, there's no other regional land banks in Indiana, and there's barely like 3 or 4 regional land banks in the US. We've got one of the only 6 county land banks really in the US, that's kind of doing work together. So doing things regionally often makes things harder, often makes them take a little bit longer, but we think we've been a success for the 2.5 years that we've been up and operational. To think that we went from not even an organization to having an organization, bylaws, a board, everything. And then even to be able to acquire 20 different properties and have some impact on those properties. We've leveraged a lot of funds along the way. We've used a lot from EPA in order to do assessments on the properties. So there's probably around 400,000 that we've leveraged that way. We've got another $167,000 of petroleum funding that we have acquired from the Indiana Finance Authority in order to take care of an old gas station that we were looking at for a residential unit. And then we've got another 500,000 that we think we're going to get out of Lilly in order to clean up a neighborhood site that we think we'll be able to turn into about 240 housing units in Washington area. So like I say, it's just been a labor of love from all of us. And we wanted to make you aware of what we're doing, that we're out there kind of working on this. We will, expect a letter from the land bank in your budget time to be able to, so that, hopefully you'll want to remain a partner with the land bank in the future. But we do ask for a $50,000 annual fee. And, a lot of counties look at that and they look at their edit funds as a potential source of that revenue there. So any questions?
I got a couple questions.
Sure.
So what's the difference in the land bank, your regional organization?
Yeah.
What are the counties that are in that land bank?
Okay, so Davies, Green, Martin, Lawrence. So those are, since I've worked for Southern Indiana Development Commission, we're like Indiana 15. And so I staff it for the land bank. So those 4 counties are in it, and then Crawford and Orange, which are in the Indiana 15 region.
Right.
So that makes up the 6 counties altogether. And so whenever we started this, we opened it up to the entire 11 counties of the ROI region. And those were the 6 counties that said, yeah, let's give it a try.
So is there a difference between your organization group than the investment people you were talking about? You both have the same right. No one has this one's got a bigger checkbook than the other.
Oh, sure. So I think the thing that makes us stand out is really our renovation contracts. Because what we're doing is we've got a board made up of 1 member from each county. That board decides how we're disposing of that property. So, whether we're going to tear it down, whether we're going to renovate it. And then they decide on who can purchase that property in the future. There's it's almost like a grant process where someone will apply to us, we'll evaluate them, their financial status, their status in the community. If they've had other projects similar to it. And then we'll use that process in order to vet and have someone that we trust coming in to do work in the area. And that is gonna lift up, we look for catalyst projects, right? Projects that are gonna incentivize the rest of the neighborhood to do some sort of work and pick up, the entire neighborhood. You see a lot of times people will buy a piece of property, they won't put any money into it, and they'll just turn it into a rental piece of property and just watch, it deteriorate. We don't want that. We want to make sure someone's going to come in, fix it up, make it look nice, inspire the neighborhood, and then we can do bigger things.
So are there any of those counties set up to where the land bank, because I guess you would say they're in a contract with or funded by, have a priority of that first dibs before it goes to a tax sale, or is it?
So there is a process to do that we haven't put that in place. Green County, I think, has been the most aggressive, where they have put properties. That have gone through the tax sale twice, right? So you can't do this if it's just a one time, if you've only been through the tax sale once. County can do it if it's been through twice, they can designate it over that way, donate it that way. Green County's been the most aggressive that way. So it's really would be something ideal in the future, where that would be, something that would be, helpful for the land bank to be able to acquire property that way, because it lowers the cost for the land bank, taking ownership of those properties. And, you know, some people think it's cutting in front of line, but like when you're up against folks that are really gonna punt the football for another 3 years on a piece of property, and you've got a not-for-profit that is, you know, established, has Indiana code behind it, looking at renovating these properties, and they're looking out for the best interests of the communities. You know, I don't know, I think it's a no-brainer.
I understand, cause like, I do the code enforcement for Marengo and.
Oh, sure.
The one house that you guys did.
Yeah.
Already do, and it just seems like. The towns are in this cycle,
Mhm.
exactly as you described, tax sale, somebody buys it, they sit on it for that year. Goes again, they sit on it, and then these towns can't do anything for sometimes up to 4 and 5 years because it's in that cycle, so.
Yeah, and it's just.
This is your phone number and website on here, right?
Yep, that's it.
So if there's any other questions, like, we can get a hold of you through that.
Absolutely, that's it. We love all the impact, you know. Any questions you might have, and if you have any suggestions, we are, like I say, we're a young organization. We think we're on the right track and doing everything above board and doing a great job for everybody, but there may be ways that work best in your county that's unique to the other counties in the area, so.
Who's on the board from Crawford?
Oh geez, this is where I need Bobby here. Bobby is my director of the land bank, and so she runs the board, she runs all those meetings there. I can get you the name.
I just wondered.
Yeah.
Supposed to be paid,
Yeah.
but I think.
Is that Jesse? No, it's Jesse. Jesse's on,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Uh,
I guess she didn't come.
Crawford County has a construction grades class.
Oh.
Have you ever thought about working with schools?
Would love to,
Renovating?
absolutely would love to. You know, it but it comes down, we gotta find properties that we can get at a good cost, get cleaned up and turn around and then get, yeah. If you've got a contact for that, let us know, cause there's nothing better than like trying to build a new home and having kids do it for us. That would be awesome.
We got a butterfly garden now.
Oh, yeah?
The house where they tore
Yes.
it down.
Yeah, we tore down a house and found a lot of utilities on it that were not marked anywhere.
From the night,
So,
Well, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
absolutely, appreciate it.
Ariana, you wanna go next?
Sure,
All right.
might as well. Hi, everybody. My name is Ariana Walters. If you don't know me, I'm currently the election board president. You may know my parents, Greg Walters, Lisa Newkirk Riddell. Or even if you're older than that, you may know Russell and Ann Newkirk. Those are my grandparents. I'm here on behalf of the election board to discuss a couple things. I'm sorry that the rest of my board can't be here. Lisa is currently out with the, I believe, State Board of Accounts Conference up in Indianapolis. And my vice chair, Bill, just recently resigned, so you get me today. First item I'd like to talk about per Lisa is the appropriation of funds to pay our attorney whenever we recently went to court. We had to find our own attorney because due to a conflict of interest is what we were told. I do have the bill here from said attorney presented by Nikki with Shad Law. I don't know if you need a copy of this or how that goes, but as far as everything is concerned with that right now, I know the Wrights have tried to appeal to go back to court. However, my understanding is the appealing process is it goes to an appellate court and they either agree to take the case or not to. I'm not sure how long of a process that is, but as far as my understanding is, I guess they have up to 30 days to decide if it will be tried. But as far as, this particular quote, this was for when we went to court in Orange County. So, it was $5,000 for our attorney fees. Which led us to a dismissal there in Orange County. I don't know if that was made clear in any way, shape or form.
And this was brought on by the Wrights,
Yes, correct.
Spilled in.
Yeah,
so
so
we probably need to see if we can,
talk to our attorney and see what.
we probably need to talk to our attorney about that.
Okay. Like I said, I've got the bill here, so Lisa had texted that to me. I don't know who in particular would like a copy of it per se, but if you do, just get with me and I can text it to you, whatever is necessary.
Okay,
Yeah.
Um,
I'd like to get better clarification on that because I'm not comfortable spending $5,000 of taxpayers' money on account of someone wanting to put on a big show. You know
correct.
what I mean? I just
No,
can't.
no, no, I absolutely agree. I mean, even Judge Owens with Orange County said, I don't understand what you're asking for here. And he point blank asked, like, are you seeking a recount? Are you seeking money? What are you wanting out of this? And it was, they just said, they just asked that it be secure. And the judge tried to get clarification on what secure, and he goes, well, the election. And he goes, well, as far as I can tell, everything's been followed by Indiana Election Board IC code.
Well, you all explained that here that night in the meeting,
Correct,
Or-
correct,
public statement or whatever.
right. And I think it was even made mention at court that we had the meeting and a lot of the questions could have been, that they had, could have been clarified.
Well, I mean, you were sitting here and I was sitting over there at the
Yeah.
time, but you know. The people that was making a big deal out of it, let's just say, it'd be nice. None of them was in this room.
Right,
The people that was on Facebook and making a big deal of the election, you know. They wasn't here that night and. They just wanna rant and rave and this is what we get. We get a big bill. If they wanted answers, they should have come here and got them for free.
correct.
So that's just my opinion.
I don't know if the per se protective orders that they put against the board was why they eventually did not end up coming, but. But I mean, we even live streamed it, so even if they didn't come, they still could have watched and got the answers that they wanted.
we'll have our attorney look at that because there is, I'm sure we all got questions about that. So. Do you have anything else? you
Yes,
can-
I did. So I know there was a couple of you all that came to that public meeting and you heard some complaints, concerns from the people. And I've said from day one, I'm not an expert at this by no means, but this is the people's election. It always will be. This is the chance that everybody gets to do their civic duty and make their votes heard and count. And one of the issues we had listed was that, you know, we needed more equipment. And because of the wait time to even getting to use the new voting machines. We would like to request 5 additional voting machines to add to each election, well, not to each election poll, but just 5 overall. To kind of help alleviate some of that, we did consolidate 2 polling places into South. We have consolidated Boone and Union townships to South. If you need to know like specific numbers, there was only 38 people that voted in Alton. And honestly, that's a lot for 6 people to sit all day for 38 people. So, and the same way with Sulphur. I know Sulphur probably had a little over 100 if I'm not mistaken. So to help with some of these costs, we did consolidate 2 polling places to go to the old Leavenworth Elementary School, or South as we call it. So we can utilize those two machines to add to other polling places. The idea that we would like is to have at least three voting machines at each polling place. So that way, not so many people are waiting in line, and it just seems more fluent and not so much bottlenecking from the beginning to the end.
What's the cost on that?
Approximately, now these are just rough estimates that I've gotten, for just the 5 machines is around $18,350.
And they would work with everything else, be the same machines?
Correct, exact same machines, same equipment, all the way around. We initially were talking about getting 5 of the tabulation machines, and I did get a quote on them, but we discussed this at our last meeting that we had, I believe was Thursday. Since then, I've decided, as the president of the board, that we don't need any tabulators. That's the machine that calculate, like, you put your ballot into and it calculates the total. I feel like it would be more necessary to get the poll books instead of the tabulators. Reason being, you're only at that tabulator for maybe 0.6 seconds to put your ballot in. But because we consolidated 2 polling places into South, it would make sense to have at least 2 tablets at each voting place. So that way you're getting checked in quicker, you're getting to the machines quicker, you're getting away from the machines quicker, and like I said, 0.6 seconds to just put your ballot in and walk away. I don't have a quote on that because that was a last minute thought to make things better. But I can have that to you at the next meeting. The reason why I bring it up now is because, not that we're on a time crunch, but it takes 1 month to order these machines and get them in. So at the very latest, we would have to put an order in by the 1st of August.
So we need to advertise, wouldn't we?
Or
If we were gonna buy new machines, we would have to advertise it before we approve
But
it.
you don't have another meeting till August, so.
Yeah, you don't have one till August anyway.
Depending on if you're talking about doing additional, we don't advertise for additionals no more, so. I mean, as long as she's got the quotes and you
So
are
you're,
paying it out of the.
you're thinking it's feasible to have this ready to go for the fall election?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Good.
I got, see,
So
you're,
Go ahead.
No, go
well, you're saying you. So you're saying for the fall, you're gonna do away with Sulphur and Alton,
Correct,
and we'll have to go where? Leavenworth?
Leavenworth.
Before you go any farther, in the commissioners meeting,
Oh, yeah.
the attorney brought that up, and the attorney said that it was up to the commissioners to decide the polling places.
That's not correct according to
Yeah.
Indiana State Code.
Well, yeah, I know that. I'm just saying before there's 2 entities arguing that needs to be, everybody needs to be on the same page. There's a difference between, I think their confusion might have been polling places and not combination like you exactly described, which was what Gordon said, that you can combine multiple townships and precincts into one place. Polling places means that a person in Tazewell can vote west, they're full, he could go to Milltown, works in Louisville, wherever, so.
So what's
You know,
the
I'm
problem?
totally supportive, I think that the 2 entities need to make sure.
What's the difference in doing that? I've heard you talk about that a few times, and
Yeah.
if you're gonna do what you're saying. Move people from Sulphur to Leavenworth, which don't matter to me, and Alton to Leavenworth.
It's my understanding the way that the attorney.
What would you have to do, like the license branch, let's just take for instance.
So are
You-
you asking me what it would take to
Well,
make voting centers?
yeah,
Where you
well-
can vote anywhere?
Yes.
Well, yeah, cause like, used to in Indiana, if you lived in Crawford County, you had to license your car in Crawford County. Now you can go to Indianapolis and license it, or Lafayette, wherever you wanna go.
Okay, so in order to do that, I would need the council's approval to make that happen. Just saying that you guys have voted on it, you agree that we can move forward in this process. once we do that.
We don't have anything.
No, I don't think
I don't
we can do
think the
that.
commission,
We do whenever we have to take that to the state, because it has to,
Yeah.
we have to have your all's blessing to show kind of like a, here, we have approval of this, so this is, it's just like a kind of a respect thing to your county per se. I do have my, yeah, absolutely. This is my proxy, Bill.
I'm Dave.
Dave, sorry, oh my gosh, I was thinking Bill. This is Dave Grove, he's my proxy
I'll just
in the election
give
board.
this to you, because you only got one copy, I'm sorry. This is just some things I printed out a while back about voting centers, the process, what's involved, the number of voting centers in Indiana already in the counties. It's pretty straightforward, it's very simple. And the bottom line is, from what I read there, it takes a resolution from the council and the commission and commissioners to say, we approve to pursue this. It's not like you have to do anything. It's just that the council has to approve that we want to pursue this.
We would,
Also, we would need to vote on this, on the election board as well.
I feel like that we want to support you in your, what you need money wise to get to what we need, but I don't think we can make a decision on,
no,
the commissioners has to do
Right.
that, and then.
It's a fiscal benefit on our side that they don't have to have as much money, they don't have to
this way people.
personnel and things like that. Fiscally, it's a win-win-win.
And I feel like this is a good setup for in the future.
Right.
I mean,
So, I got a question on your training.
yes,
Why can't we come to agreement where we offer X amount of dollars to an individual to come there on Saturday for 4 hours and be trained?
what, are you talking about the first training that was there? Well,
Whichever, maybe if you have more than one, they could pick one, but
we did, we had 2 Saturday trainings, I was not able to partake in the first
Yeah.
one and really explain how things work. Cause I was busy working absentee here, I didn't have anybody that was able to
Sure.
come in, so I had to take over that. However, at that same account, I did show whoever came in and early voted, kind of the beginning stages of how you get checked in, this is the tablet, this is how this is supposed to flow.
Yeah.
Per se, now,
I'm talking all your volunteers, all locations.
yeah, they all didn't come to the meetings.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
You're not getting them there, so why don't we consider offering them some type of benefit for the training?
I agree, I think if you show up to the training.
Is that important?
Right, I mean, it really is, and I think the primary was a very good example of why training is important. And I feel like more than just 2-hour days is not enough.
I don't know how any individual can volunteer for something that's gonna be brand spanking new and don't have enough energy to go train, but yet they're willing to sit there for 10 hours and look like an idiot, because maybe they don't know what to do.
And what really concerns me is because of, the issues that came about is, will you get it in November? I'm sure you will, but there are gonna be so many people. I mean, currently, right now, you're looking at, you need 45 to 50 people to work an election. If we went with combined centers, there would be less.
Correct. Maybe an additional clerk, Democrat and Republican, especially for South, because there will be 3 machines along with 4 precincts that will be there now. So having 6 people at one polling place, I feel like doesn't need to equivalate to them combining. Maybe just an additional clerk to get them checked in, show them the machine, and explain how the machine works and how their vote will count.
I guess I missed out on something too. I'm just curious.
No, absolutely.
When the machine itself, of course, like there was like a lot of confusion, people going in and stuff, but who puts the names into that machine? Who's the ones who put the candidates' names into the machine that people will be voting on? Who does? I missed that.
Okay, so
How does that work?
I think
it's a
she's
voting
asking.
machine.
Tell her what the problem was with the machine at Leavenworth, I guess.
Okay,
'Cause I-
so at the very last minute, we had a chairman that requested additional machines be at Leavenworth and Patoka. We didn't get instructed on how to properly remove that election off of the machine that had the names crisscrossed in different council races and put in the stick and upload the appropriate ballot that had the correct council members in said spots. So we did what we were told and inserted the flash drive memory stick is what they called it into the machine. When I checked it, it was correct, but as soon as you turned the machine off, it hard reset back to that original ballot. So once the problem was caught, everybody went to paper ballots at that point.
But what I'm saying is like, would you not have checked it before people started coming in to vote? Just to make sure it was all, once the machines were started back up again?
I checked it and it showed, again, I didn't think to turn it off and check it. Because when I put the stick in and it showed that everything was correct, it indeed was not correct after it was turned off. And that was error on my part on that end, but
That's what I just mean, like, you know,
Yeah.
like if you'd shut it off and you'd turn it back on that morning before people started coming in, you would have seen, hey, we got a problem here, let's correct it right away.
correct, absolutely.
And that's what she was telling everybody at that meeting, that it was just a human error. I mean,
Mhm.
she
But it costs.
should have done.
Well, I think that, there'll be everybody will be a lot more careful with this next round, but
Yes.
here's what I think we are to do, and you guys have to make the decision on this. I think we are to provide the money for those voting machines, just because of the time factor. So I would be in favor of that if you guys would.
Is 5 enough?
The 5 additional will be enough.
If we're gonna do it, let's do it right.
Correct. We have 10 now currently as it sits. With the consolidation of the 2 polling places, we can move those machines wherever. Let's just say we take the one that's in Alton, move that to Leavenworth. That officially makes 3 machines there. We take the one at Sulphur and let's say we just go ahead and take it to Patoka. That makes 3 machines there. To have the additional machines, you would need 2 additional for English, then that would give you your 3. So there's 2 there. You would need 2 more additional at Marengo, that would give you your 3. And then you would only need, you would need the other 2 at Whiskey Run.
So I guess,
So technically, I guess you need 6, not 5.
And I don't know the numbers. I don't know how many went to Doak, I don't know how many went to Whiskey Run, but in my feeble mind, I would think, well, there's 2,000 voters here and 500 here. I'm gonna put 2 here and 4 here. Can you do that if you have to? Okay.
Yeah,
And that's
if
how
we
I-
had to.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
But after the complaints that we got, the main places that seemed like had the most backup was English,
Mm.
Marengo and Milltown.
Sure, I voted Patoka and I was in and out.
Yeah,
Right.
I was there about 5:30 and they had some issues. They worked under control. They did a really good job and I told them that.
This is, by doing this, we're increasing it 3 times, so we should be a lot better. I mean.
I think too, if we can say we're trying to do our due diligence to make this election better to the commissioners. Hey, we're willing to provide 5 additional machines if they're willing to consolidate to 5 sites. We're good.
just to, and then the election, okay, so you'll have more than one machine there and stuff if you have an issue or something. And like you say, you switch to paper ballots for people to.
Correct.
So, but that won't be like at the next time. There won't even be paper ballots offered at all, correct?
We
The
will,
next one?
we do have to order paper ballots for early voting absentee, mail out,
Uh-huh.
travel board, so, and provisionals. So the plan is whatever paper ballots we do order, we can take them there.
Just in case some kind of freaky accident happens or something.
Correct,
Yeah.
because we've already ordered all of the printer paper for the election machines.
So here's what I would not wanna see happen. A person comes in and says, oh, I don't wanna use that new machine.
Mhm.
I want a paper ballot.
Mhm.
Correct.
You have to give them a paper ballot?
If they are there, yes.
Okay,
If they are not, sorry,
Okay.
but I'm just saying that, yeah.
Well, but it just seems to me
Yeah.
like if we're gonna spend this money,
Mhm.
they should have to use the machines, if everything is copacetic.
correct. But, and that's what the plan was all along, was to make the general election machine only. But because of, like I said, the
Yeah.
absentee, early voting, mail out ballots, we have to have paper for them.
Mhm.
Do you have even a inkling of an idea of what one of the poll books cost?
I don't. That was one thing that I called about today. They said that it would take about a month to, not a month, a week to give me a quote on 3 poll books.
And that's the thing that counts it.
No, that is what you sign in on. That's
Oh,
replace
oh,
the
oh,
paper
sorry.
flip
Okay,
book.
okay.
Cause I feel like if we can have
Oh.
2 poll books at each polling place, again, I feel like that will help with the bottlenecking.
Sure.
Sure. The only thing about, yes, in the, when you got your, hang on, sorry. When you have multiple precincts, does it matter? That poll book does not attach itself to Sterling 1, 2, 3.
That's what I was wondering about. That's a good question, yeah.
It's,
So you don't have to have you don't have to have a poll
One,
book for
eight.
each precinct. You can have one.
No, you can have one. As far as my understanding is, all the poll books will have
The whole county.
the whole.
the whole county.
Okay.
And they are attached to hotspots which talk to each other. So say you early voted. You did early voting and then come election day, you go to Patoka and you vote. Well, when you go there, it'll say, hey, you've already voted. You don't have to do anything. Or say you have somebody that's in Jennings that accidentally goes to Marengo. It will tell you at Liberty, hey, you're in Jennings, you need to go Leavenworth.
Okay.
So they talk within themselves on a secure, on a secure signal.
Somebody said at Patoka, I saw that they had posted like, there's the Patoka, you know, the A, the B or whatever, you know, one, whatever, the A, B, top, you know,
Yeah.
it's split, you know, Patoka 1, 2, 3 or whatever, like English has 3 or whatever, Sterling, I should say.
Correct.
And they were like, you know, how come they didn't understand that? I don't know what they were even really talking about it.
Yeah, there seemed to be a lot of confusion, because even with the 2 machines, for example, at Jennings in Ohio, they thought the 2 machines, one was designated for Jennings and the other one was for Ohio, which wasn't the case. They were programmed, minus the issue with the memory stick, they were programmed to where you could vote on either one.
Mm-hmm.
It was just which tabulator you put it in to cast your vote. That one should have been separate. But the election machines should be universal for everybody, where at the top, if you saw it, it said what township you were in.
Mm-hmm.
When you put that into the machine and it reads that barcode, it automatically tells the machine what precinct you're in.
But you do have to put it in a specific tabulator.
Correct. We did find that out.
Mm-hmm. That's what probably what they were talking about, maybe.
And that's why that's what led to recounts, because we had Jennings in Ohio, Ohio and Jennings, it was, so that's why it took long.
Is there any?
Let's provide the money for the machines and
So did we say 5 or was it actually 6 when you counted it out?
It's
6, wasn't it?
It was 6.
so the 18,000, is that for 5?
That was for 5.
So
So they're roughly.
how much more you need for the,
I
Are
can
they-
get, again, that's a quote that I can get you in a week.
Problem is, we're not
And I
gonna,
can also get you the poll book.
we're not
quote
gonna
as
meet
well.
in July, we're not having a meeting.
You're not having a
So
meeting
we
in
won't meet
July.
again until the second week of August.
So is that an issue as far as how long it takes for
Mm-hmm.
those machines?
Like I said, as long as we get them ordered by the 1st of July, not 1st of July, 1st of August, we should get them in time before even election, because early voting, the machine's already here, secure, ready to go.
what is your figure you have there for 5?
For 5,
18,
around
$350.
$18,350.
So add 3,600
It's
to
about
that.
37, about
37.
$3,700 a piece roughly. I mean.
Let's, I would entertain a motion,
Where are we gonna get it from, Bill?
what is that we talked about a while ago,
Professional services.
professional services?
I make a motion that we approve the purchase of the 6 machines and pull it out of professional services.
$22,055.
There you go.
that does also include a maintenance fee, but I don't know what the exact number of the maintenance fee is because of the poll books. That's mainly what it's gonna boil down to is the poll books. And I believe the maintenance fee is good for 2 years, I do believe.
I mostly want to get you machines.
Yeah, the
Because
machines
we're
is a
not gonna meet
must.
next month.
Okay,
So you have the freedom to do that. If you come back with something else for our August meeting, we'll finish you up.
okay. So August, we will discuss the poll books then.
If you, that's, I think that'd be.
Yes.
Okay.
Bill, you think we'll just make it a little bit more just to cover any
That's what I was thinking. I
incidental?
wanted to just.
We gotta have that tape and all
That
that,
for now, since we're paying out professional
Okay.
services, if we can.
and then we can look at it. Okay. Well,
Mark, do you want to entertain
I'm gonna get
motion for training?
You made the motion.
Yeah, I made a
Let's do
motion.
it.
He made a motion.
He made a motion.
We got a motion, second,
Yeah.
all in favor? 7-0, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Who seconded that?
I did. Or either way, I got me and Mark.
I'm trying to
Also,
think ahead.
what, did you guys need more time to consider voting centers?
That's not our
Yeah, we
decision.
need to.
Oh, that's right, that's okay. You
That's
said
not
that that's
decision.
council, correct?
And that's the go
Commissioners,
through
I apologize.
commissioners.
Ariana, I can put you on the commissioners meeting for July if you would like me to
Yes,
do
please,
so.
absolutely.
Go ahead.
Just a quick clarification on the voting center.
Yes.
issue. Actually, in actuality, the early voting at the courthouse, every registered voter was on that one poll book.
Correct.
So it didn't matter which precinct you came from, you come from anywhere in the county and you could, well, that would be a voting center would operate the same way. Instead of just here, it would be at every.
There's no, I know the technicality part, the software part, all recognizes that it's just, it's kind of like breaking up the elementary schools.
Yes.
Commissioners, my interpretation, the commissioners just hate to break up that identity. But we're talking about, you can't buy gas in Alton, you can't go to church in Alton, you can't mail a stamp in Alton, you can't buy groceries in Alton.
People have to travel anyway.
Right.
If you're gonna change. Consolidate them two, or maybe you've done it, whatever, but all I ask is if, I'm not a fan of it, but. And I'm not a fan of the voting centers, but I understand what Sean's saying, all these little towns has died. And this is all they got left. And if you take this away from them. You know, I'm just,
Okay.
I agree with both.
Yeah, and I
But
get
I get
that, but Chad,
But I'm just saying, if you're gonna do that. Please get it out there, put it out, and let people know, cause there's a lot of old people that. They're set in their ways of going to Sulphur Firehouse and, you know.
Cause we've honestly talked about that and I said, you know, this would be a perfect opportunity for travel board
Right.
to get involved, especially to, you know, elderly people that, you know, can't drive that far, don't wanna go that far. Or even if they're homebound, I mean, we're more than happy to accommodate to them to send somebody out to get their vote. That's not a problem at all.
On the vote center thing, that packet, you can make copies if you want. or pass it around.
Pass that down, let everybody
But
look at
it's,
that.
it's really straightforward, and as far as, the legalities go, all it needs from the council and the commissioners. Is a resolution saying, yes, we want to pursue this, not that it's gonna be done.
some of the other counties that I were familiar with that did that, what they did was they created a group, study group. Study group determined the physical difference between A and B,
And not say nothing.
and they put it out there educationally. Went to both the
Yes.
government bodies, that this is what we're talking about. And, you know, you could even have a survey or whatever, if you can have done, but that's, and then. And correct, I don't know, you research it more than me, but. If the election board decides they want to do this, commissioners say they want to do this. Doesn't the election board have the opportunity to go to the attorney general and let the attorney general review
According to the rules, the election commission,
election commission?
Secretary of State. Once a county agrees on this, all we need is like a copy of the resolution that you would say, okay. A copy of the resolution from the commissioners, and here's some data, we're combining these polling
Yeah,
places.
but let's say the commissioners don't and the election division does.
Well, still have, the commissioners have to get on board.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
where
it's-
we're at.
We've,
Folks have to do that.
we need to move on.
Yes.
We've done what we can do here for you.
Yes.
Thank
And,
you, very much appreciated.
Thanks for all you do.
we're doing our
Thank
best.
you. Bye, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Michael?
I just wanna talk about my missing employee again. I know we rather wait until the budget time to talk about it. I'm still in a bind. I'm falling behind. I don't know if y'all noticed the long lines at my door and the amount of people that are coming with the assessment issue. I've been doing my research on comparable counties and stuff like that, where a lot of them have 2 employees, 2 part-time employees, where like Marion County, Swishman County has 2 employees, 1 thing. I've only got 1 employee, 1 part-time position. I know we're still at the process of waiting until budget time. The other alternate solution is maybe I can contract that position out for the rest of the year and get somebody in here to help me get caught up to just finish out the year and just give us time to work out through the budget meeting of what we can do next year to fill that position. Like the sheriff's department, EMS, EMTs and stuff like that, they're statutory required to fill those positions with qualified people. I also have that statutory requirement, which makes me a little bit different than some of the other departments, which puts me in a bind of who I can hire into that level 2 position to certify assessed values. And my assessed values over the 8 years that I've been here has just been going up and up. And so, with that being said, my part-time position that I've got a high school student in will end next month. The rest of the money that's in that account, I would like to use to see if I can either contract a body to come in and help me finish out through the year. So that way we can go through the budget time and stuff like that. That's not gonna be cheap. I'm looking at around 25,000 just to finish out the year. I know currently that I'm right around $4,000 to $5,000 that I've used of the current $20,000 that's allocated for my part-time, so that's 15. So I'm asking to see maybe if I can use that 15 and maybe get it 10 more thousand from the board to see if I can contract it out. I'll get several bids from multiple different contract companies for to get a level 2 certified assessor in here through a contract, just to finish out the year. And so I've got part of it, but I won't have enough to finish out the year to get me through the rest of the year.
What do you need this employee for?
To help certify my values. I don't have time to go out and do stuff. I'm behind on my personal property. I'm behind on my appeal process. My appeal process is starting now. With that being said, if any one of them decide to say, well, I need to do an appraisal, I'm gonna have to come back to you all and ask you all for money because I'm statutorily required to pay for appraisals on all the appeals that people are filing, because the assessments are going up, because the state of Indiana is an assessment or market assessment state.
I've never heard of that before.
On what? That
I've never heard of us having to hire appraisals.
I'll give you the ordinance that says, and no, we don't have to hire appraisals, but once I get the appraisals going there and they get past me, then if they request an appraisal, I'm required to pay for it. The assessor's office is. I don't have a budget for it.
So what happened to cause this problem? I guess I missed it.
On what?
How did you get in the shape you're in? I mean, did somebody,
They typically retired. after
somebody
30
quit,
years.
retired?
Yeah, so when she retired, I have to get a level 2. The contract company that does the current reassessment for the county, their cheapest one that they have employed makes 45,000 a year. Her position is 34,000. No one wants to take a pay cut to come work at Crawford County, almost like the sheriff's department. Nobody wants to take that. I can't train them. And if I bring in somebody to train, I'm gonna have to get computer equipment, training, and as soon as I train them, every county that touches us will give them a $10,000 to $15,000 raise just to move on to the next county. I cannot keep anybody, and I can't get anybody to even apply for the position because of my statutory requirements of having a level 2 assessor appraiser for the chief deputy position. So I'm in a rock and a hard place, and I'm trying to figure out how I can stay above board. I don't know if y'all have watched Facebook and the complaints and the amount of publicity I'm getting in my office. I've already got 2 people that threatened me and one that's kind of spit on me. And I'm doing the best I can. I cannot leave my desk. I can't go anywhere. I can't do anything. I've got another gentleman in there, but he doesn't want the full-time position. He's just helping out until I can get somebody in there. I'm stuck. The other thing is, I'm just trying to get to the budget process.
I've been hearing good things about you.
I'm trying.
I mean,
But-
most of, I've not heard one complain about you. Oh, well, I did hear
The
one
only
complain.
ones I've heard complain are the ones who complain about everything.
Well, I heard a lot of good
And
compliments.
I'm trying my hardest, and I go through there and I explain them. We have no zoning and permitting in the county. So, and I'm not playing big brother, going out to each body's process, see if you built a house 3 years ago or 2 years ago, if your house burnt down and you're paying taxes on it. We have a whole lot of people that's elderly in the county and disabled, military veterans, that can't afford the assessments, and they're telling me they can't even put food on the plate because the assessments are.
I don't think we can do contracts, Michael. I mean, that's out of our,
Okay, then I'm back
That's out of
to
our-
needing.
So
you
the one
have to
that,
get that approved.
I'm just trying to get to the budget time.
so the one that quit, okay?
Sherry Barnes,
Yeah, Sherry
Retired.
retired,
retired,
sorry. Sherry retired.
30 years.
How much money was left? How much was she paid?
34,000.
34,000. That's what she's paid a year,
That's what she's making.
Mhm.
and you can't get anybody to work for that.
Nobody wants to work for that.
But you've got,
And they have to be a level 2 assessor appraiser.
15 left,
Certified values.
you got 15 left in your part-time
Yes,
that's going back to school,
yes,
so they're gonna leave.
yes.
So you could add that 15 with this 34 and just replace that person, couldn't you? You don't need no money. You've got it.
So that would mean I would be out of the part-time position, is what you're saying.
Well, they're going back to
And then
school.
oh, no, hold up, I'm working with you, and then that money would be moved over to that full-time
Yeah.
position to finish out the year.
Finish out the
That way
year.
I can go through the budget time, and, we can see what we can accomplish through our
Well, that
budget.
would get you to the end of the year. That's what you're
And I
at.
don't need anything from it, I just need approval to be able to do
And are you telling me if somebody can test something and that you have to pay for an appraisal, you're saying? Is
Okay.
Tell me that
that. You
again.
file an appeal,
Mhm. Yeah.
and you can't agree with me. And you get to the appeal process, and they can't come to an agreement, and they go to the next step, which is the ITBR. I have to bond, or I have to pay for the appraisal for their property to fight it in the next 4
I
years.
got you.
And I don't have a budget for that, and I think I've been doing pretty good, because I have none of that has happened in the 8 years that I've been here. But with that being said, we haven't had this year problems with the assessment going up, people buying property at 3 times of what they've been in the last 8 years, and assessments are going up, and people are
I know.
are outraged.
Yeah.
And I have to explain the process of not only where I went up, but the school board tax went up, the library tax went up, the safety tax went up, the local and city township tax, all those taxes get added into that, and all of it's going up, and people are coming to me and they're not very happy.
Yeah.
Michael,
Have you ever advertised in the states for the county job postings?
No,
Okay,
but is that the paper for that?
well, that's the heading of the web page. The only reason I say
And I
that
can
is
do that.
because in Perry County, not comparing, I'm just
Right.
trying to say, they hired a new EMA assistant director who's from Newcastle, Indiana, who got it from, because they wanted to move away from Newcastle, Indianapolis, and they come down here. If all you're doing is trying to do word of mouth, I don't think we're possibly reaching.
No, I
your
put it in the
potential
paper,
candidates.
but-
And I totally understand nobody, but a lot of people would move,
And Workforce One, and I went to them as well.
yeah.
Um,
And I mean, and one of the things that's unique about his department is that his employees have to hold this higher certification. Isn't there a couple more standards to work in the assessor's office? Do you have to own property?
they have to own property, and they have to live in the county for at least a year.
Mm. See,
So
that
I mean,
really
there's a
limits
higher,
limits
there's a
you
higher
what you can
standard
pick.
to work.
Is that for the employees or for the assessor?
That's for the assessor.
Oh, for
Oh,
the assessor.
okay, so
Not-
the
not-
employees.
But if I take off,
Mm.
you're very limited on
Yeah.
the people in the county.
Well, scratch what I said, 'cause evidently you can't do what I want
And
to
I'm
do.
not threatening, like, listen,
we need to work this out in budget time, Michael.
right, but but what I'm saying is, if I move the money like you suggested, or.
No, you can't do that. I thought
We have
you
to
couldn't.
change the ordinance.
You gotta change the ordinance, so I guess you're back to working Saturdays and Sundays and not taking no days off. I don't,
That's
Well-
my issue.
But if he wants to try to contract, the commissioners approve that.
The commissioners would have to do that.
Go
We
to,
would
Okay.
have to do
And
contract.
that's, I just needed direction.
yeah,
Mhm.
go to the
That's what I'm
commissioners.
trying to get at.
And
Yeah.
I think
And
we can work
advertise
to
it.
try to get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
on the
Can I take that?
Yeah.
Can I get?
Yeah, that's why I printed it for you this morning. Yeah, I mean, that's just, like I said, it was go to the county web, but the state.
It's very
go
hard
the
to find
state,
somebody who has that particular
the
criteria.
AI.
Yeah, I'd like to get somewhere, you know, job.
All right.
Got some good news, Tim.
Good, Mark.
Here's
Good
gonna give
news.
us some good news.
Well, I'm still stuck where I'm at, but I will go to the commissioners and we'll see what they have to say about.
prosecutor.
So, how much do you have in your budget right now? 34,000?
No, I got the other guy in my office taking her position
Yeah.
right now. He works in Harrison County.
Oh, but
And
he-
drives all the way out there to help me until I can find.
Oh, he's just helping.
I got you, okay.
You wanna take that position?
Okay, I'll see the commissioners and go from there and.
Yeah.
We'll see what I can do from there, so.
All right, thank you.
They'll at least meet in July. They'll meet in July and then
Yes,
we'll be in.
and you'll be back in office. Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks, Mike.
Well, good evening.
Good evening.
Did you all get the email I sent out? I think last week, I think I sent you all an email.
My
I
God.
did.
You
I
got it?
don't think I probably didn't see it.
Check your junk email.
I don't check it that, I don't check my email that often.
Okay. Well, I'd sent out an email, so I briefly talked to some of you at your last council meeting, one you rescheduled. So I know last year during the budget workshop, we talked about, ordering a new truck at some point this year, but we wanted to wait and see where we were financially, what the situation was. So I think after this month, there should be a little over 200,000 in my escrow. What I'm wanting to do is go ahead and start the process of ordering a new truck. New truck takes, they said 18 months to 2 years, which they said that last time, it ended up taking 29 months to get. That being said, I'm confident that by the time 2028 gets here, that we will have more than enough money in the escrow account to pay for that, provided that the same percentage goes into that escrow account, there's no changes or nothing catastrophic happens between now and then. So basically, the email that I sent you, it shows some pictures of the truck that I currently have and want to replace in the shape that it's in. That box is over 30 years old. It's on its third chassis and it's just, the chassis got 268,000 miles on it. The truck's like me, it's just old and worn out. Now, I talked briefly with the commissioners tonight, they're on board with it. The main thing is starting the process. We know it'll at least lock in the pricing because the pricing is just astronomical. We ordered those trucks in 2022. They were $286,000 a piece. Well, now that exact same truck is like 340 some thousand. But that being said, what some of the things that we're going to do to reduce that cost is use some of the equipment that's on this other truck, like the power load system. It's only 3 years old. So we'll utilize that, the truck will be almost 13 years old when it does get replaced. We look at that 12-year mark as when these trucks are just at the point they're getting wore out. So we know we got to do the bid process, but I just wanted to get what your guys' thought was. I mean, we're going to have the money to pay for it. I'm confident of that. I just, Mark said, hey, if you got the money. So we're not going to have to really appropriate, more money to find it somewhere. We're going to have it. So.
What do you need to do? You need to bring us a bid or you need to,
Well, we'll have to advertise first and do
Okay.
seal bids and that'll be the first step that we'll have.
So is that what you want, just an okay to start the process?
Yeah, to start the process. The commissioners were on board with it. I just, I want you guys to be on board with it. before we even-
You kind of gave an ABC option there and one was just new, and then I think you mentioned in there also like buying a chassis and buying a box and you have those married together. Was that
No, that one, I didn't, I don't think I put that one in there. I know used to you could do that.
Right.
But now all these ambulance manufacturers, they order all these chassis in and they just take care of it all. honestly, we have found that you really don't save a whole lot of money. Because like the Ford chassis, we get a set price on that chassis. We get that government rate on that chassis. So
Right, right.
whether we order it through a dealer or we pay, we're getting that at that same rate. So that's why we don't order the Dodge or the Chevy chassis, because we don't get that government pricing for those chassis.
Everybody's in favor, ain't they? We wanna keep him on the road, don't we? Is
Yep.
that all you need?
Did
That's
they-
all I
Did
need.
they motion for that one in the commissioners meeting? I can't remember now.
Yeah, they made a motion
I make
to.
a
Somebody
motion that
motion.
you proceed.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll say.
All in favor?
You're on board.
I will tell you, one of the newest trucks we did have
Troy
down for 2
and
weeks.
Tim.
and Was having electrical issue, finally we had to take it forward and,
Uh-huh.
come to find out a mouse that crawled in there.
Okay.
She doing some wiring,
Oh.
but it wasn't a mouse in my station. I just want to clarify that. The four guys let it slip that, apparently these chassis that sat up at Sparta, Kentucky in that field, all the years waiting on them
there you
chips.
Yeah.
Seems like they've been working on a lot of wiring harnesses on them trucks.
Oh, my gracious.
So I unfortunately had one of them.
Yeah, Kentucky Miles.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
And ladies.
All right,
Thank you, thanks, Tim.
turning it over to you.
Okay, first up I have the additionals and transfers. It's the health department. They're buying a dishwasher for the Boys and Girls Club. They're paying it out of their grant, the local public health service for $9,297. And then that's the only additional I have. And then the transfer is the same one that I had last meeting, which is the sheriff's department June supplemental to the sheriff's department jail repair and maintenance for 20,000. So I did talk to Jackie about that, and she was thinking that you meant our supplemental lit that we got, but that is not what that is. That is something that was put into their budget that shouldn't have probably been into repair and maintenance.
So if we put that 20,000 in there and they don't use it, does it come back
Yes,
to the general?
yes, because I'm just transferring it from that line item to the repair and maintenance line item. Because they have $0 in the repair and maintenance
And I make a motion to approve that transfer
and the additional.
and additional, both the
We
same.
have a second?
Second.
Lucas seconds. All in favor?
Okay.
7-0.
Just sign it and then I'm for a little bit. This is. Next I have the minutes, while you guys are signing that, they were all sent to you, well, the Mays, that's the only one we had. Was sent to you guys to review, I didn't get anything back, so I'm assuming everything was okay.
Yeah,
And that's for
May,
the May minutes.
I'll make that motion to accept the main minute.
Or makes a motion, Troy seconds. All in favor?
Abstain.
Oh, Lucas abstains.
Oh, yeah. It
6.
was Stephen.
was I here too? Maybe I wasn't here.
Yeah,
wasn't
you
there.
did.
Okay,
It
You weren't there either.
Missed a new
was
second.
Stevens and Mason.
He
Yes,
wasn't here.
all right, we're down to 5.
Yeah.
You made me think about that too.
So while you guys are,
We done lost the day.
signing that,
Containers.
I'm gonna throw the dates out there that Jackie has.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
That's all we want to hear.
Just a lot earlier this year,
Yeah.
so
Earlier, even yet?
she is looking at. She wants us to have things ready that the council, she wants you all to meet the last week of August, which is the 24th through the 27th. She thinks that we won't need that many days, but going back to the county, I would rather not wait until September, cause she's going back, into the office after the beginning of the
What
year.
date did you say?
August
24th.
24th and
Through the
Through
27th.
through the 27th.
She doesn't
We did.
think we'll need that many days.
One
She's
day,
just
now she's one
preparing.
5.
Hey,
Now, we've always done it a day and a half. Yeah.
She's just preparing because she's gonna be
Well, let's shoot
out of
that
the
week.
picture next year. so-
Hopefully,
Or, I guess she is, right, she's not.
Can we just say the
That's what she said she
25th
would.
and then?
That's 24th and 5th, what's that on?
That Monday, Tuesday.
Monday, Tuesday.
I
Yeah,
cannot get to my phone because I have the attorney right now.
no, thanks for doing it. Like that.
It's
Monday through
is-
Thursday?
yeah, Monday through Thursday. So it will probably most likely be Monday and Tuesday if we get done.
So I put 24th.
24th, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
If we're done.
I don't wanna use no more vacation time than I have.
Really?
So I just need to know that those dates are okay so that I can go back to her and say, yes, they're okay.
And then 2 days.
Is everybody okay?
I'm
I
good.
don't have nothing on my.
24th and 25th.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
If we need another day, that's fine.
Do you need a motion?
At least that week.
I don't
Hang
know
on,
if I need a
hang
motion on that or not.
Tell her to lock them in, because once I take them off.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just telling me the dates for the budget, so I
All right.
don't think we need a motion for that.
What else?
That's all I have. What's that?
Do we have anything else? Anybody got anything else?
Yeah, there's two other.
Oh, yeah, oh gosh, yes, I wrote them on my paper, Sean.
You
So
skipped.
Sean wants to talk about the multitask force.
I just wanna know, are we supposed to be participating? Because I've got
Yeah, that's what he wants.
people stopping in the town saying, is the council created their what's it called again?
Multitask force.
Multitask force. It's where we have to discuss. We have to create. If it's, you know how it is, Bill, they're changing their mind every month. But whether or not we have to create a task force that is with the towns and a council member to discuss the 2028 TIF.
Yeah.
Lit.
I think it's,
I know, I'm just saying it's, yeah, so
it's not,
this weekend,
it's not started yet.
yeah, but it's October. If so, it's supposed to be done by the end of October, so I just wanted this to know, but
Yeah, what
hopefully
is
we'll
it?
find out
Exactly
something.
what it is?
Do what?
What
Sorry.
is it?
It's a task force that all the municipals are supposed to be represented and one person from the county. To create this entity that's gonna discuss how future disbursements from the lit might be handled, the money they're gonna be losing and how it may be.
And they have put things off till the 29th, so
Exactly, right.
I don't believe that'll happen.
But it's one of those things that they have set upon an October date that this.
They did originally set that up,
Correct.
and then they pushed everything back to 29, so.
On that, but you still gotta create this entity.
Who set it up? Who set it up?
I gave that to you.
I know.
We'll know more about it, I'm sure
Okay.
this weekend.
Okay, you can fill me in. I'm kind of lost. Oh, what? I don't know that.
We'll know more about it after this weekend.
Okay, all right. Okay, well, all right.
Sean's the one that knows about this.
No,
so
I don't know.
Pretty much you're a councilman, someone from the town, so that you can discuss the future of the lit if it goes away, pretty much, correct, Sean?
Yes.
That's what it's about, and then
Yeah.
they've put all those changes off till 29,
So
so
you need
I
to
don't really
have,
see this
you
happening.
need to have that set and stuff by October 29th, it's saying,
October 29th.
or end of October.
And what's it called? Task?
Overtime, that's the
What's it
next
called?
thing, yes.
What's it called?
Multitask force.
Multi.
What else we got?
So the next thing is overtime.
Yeah.
For the jail, dispatch, and sheriff's department mainly. So a dispatch had reached out to Sean about it and Sean talked to me about it. And so how it's being done currently and how it's been done since I've taken office anyways is, and I don't know if it was before with the previous one that done the payroll, I can't speak for that in the jail. I don't know if she done it that way or not. So the way it's being done is if you work a holiday, you get time and a half. So what she does in there doing the payroll, she puts them down for work and the holiday, but then she gives them a specific amount of hours. So if you work 8 hours, you get 4 hours a holiday. If you work 12 hours, you get 6 hours of holiday. I figured this out. And so forth. But I think it just needs to be just time and a half so that the workers aren't getting confused. Instead of putting the hours, they are getting it, but they're not seeing it.
So they may not work a full 8
Uh,
hours, they might just work 4 hours.
So then they wouldn't get.
Yes, it.
Yes, so it would decrease, but if they got just strictly time and a half for their holiday, they would see it.
So
But
this particular one is, it says the 22nd, which I'm assuming would be like the 8th to the 22nd. And it just showed 4 hours overtime, 4 hours holiday and 8 hours
Yeah.
regular. But I mean,
Yes.
it shows 80 hours regular.
Yeah.
And 4 hours holiday. So if they would have stayed home,
They could have
They
got
paid
8 hours, pretty much,
but if they
so,
worked it, they got
Work.
paid only 4 additional
yeah,
hours.
so,
I think public safety, if you're working a holiday, I think there should be. I mean, it's almost kind of like a nighttime differential. I mean.
they should be getting what they,
should be extra.
they should be getting what they. So.
But
it
that's
should
the way
be-
that the ordinance read,
Was time and a half.
and they're not getting paid.
Yeah. They are, but it's in a different way,
Mhm.
and that's,
I'm getting an
so,
hour instead of,
yeah.
The way
it works.
instead of like $10 an
So
hour.
it's kind of still the same in payroll, but they're not seeing it that way, so I'm just. Pretty much asking that we go by what the handbook says and do it time and a
Yeah.
half, and then I tell her that she needs to do it time.
Don't
and a half.
make it.
Go by the handbook.
Yeah, yeah, it makes it less
That's
confusing.
what it's like.
Because it
Exactly.
is very
It
confusing
prompts
for the
it.
workers, and I
Yeah.
don't want them to think that they're not getting what they're
Yes.
deserving.
Work it. Handbook comes before everything.
Okay, so I can have a motion on that?
I make a motion and tell them to go by the handbook.
Second that.
Go with the rules, all in
Yeah,
favor?
oh, yeah.
Where's my motion to adjourn?
I got a motion with you.
Oh, we got two. Second.
Well, you got your hay up, what do you wanna do?
I think it's hard now.
I don't wanna talk all
I
day.
don't wanna leave you. It's hard.
Chad.
Yeah, I've read it, I'm pretty much, he might want to, he's got one.
Thank you.
Bye, Troy.
See you later.